Welcome on in to another edition of Smart Chat. And with Smart Chat today, I bring you some of my raw thoughts in obviously no particular order. We seen the F5 match with Dean Ambrose, and basically what the F5 match was just a Dean Ambrose going against five guys. And with that being said, your winner, Kevin Owens, once again the Intercontinental Champion. Now, Kevin Owens has grown on me, as I said numerous times before. I don't know if he'll ever be a world champion. I just don't see it yet, and this is just my opinion, obviously. But he's a guy I think that could have a decent match with anyone, whether it be a cruiserweight, a heavyweight. Could do a good match. He could definitely, talk on the mic. Kind of that old school mentality, old school type of wrestler that, again, could have a match with anyone and make it look good. Now listen, I see him always being upper mid card, just below the main event, at least for the time being. I don't know, I just don't see him as world champion, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people were never world champions, but still were great, considered one of the greats in the business. Just my thought. But, what this means for Dean Ambrose, I think it just means that they're going to focus him on the main event now. You know, the three top guys, whether we like it or not, is Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose right now, and Brock Lesnar. Listen, they were kind of teasing Dean Ambrose was going to go for the dirty deeds, one of the segments there towards Raw. Do I see him turning heel? I don't know. I just don't see Dean Ambrose turning heel at all. I mean, Dean Ambrose reminds me kind of like a Brian Pillman, one of my favorites growing up. Brian Pillman type of character, loose cannon, doesn't listen to the authority, kind of does what he wants. So if he were to turn heel, he would side with the authority or be one of the authority's go-to guys. I don't know. I just don't see it. Roman Reigns, don't see him turning heel. Although I suggested that it should be done. I did grooming him to be the next, be the next face of the company, whether we like it or not. Ambrose losing the world title, the U.S. title, maybe it throws a wrench in this whole situation. Maybe WWE's thinking about flipping the script where Dean Ambrose goes on to WrestleMania. Not necessarily, I think, turning heel, but that's always a possibility. They've been known to flip the script. So, numerous possibilities with Dean Ambrose losing the heavyweight title. Not heavyweight title. Losing the Intercontinental title. I'm sorry. I am all over the place today. Speaking of all over the place, I mean, Goldust, I love the character so many years ago. This character has morphed. It really has been watered down 10 times since when it debuted 20 years ago. If you remember that character 20 years ago, wow. It garnered so much controversy that it had to be watered down, and that's probably what ended Goldust's run at the top there, because he was on the top for about 16 years ago. That's his last run, but then, people started chirping from the outside, the media, special interest groups, and it kind of fizzled for him. The kids, the people watching TV now, the casual viewers, they don't even know what a Goldust is. It's just brutal. There is no reaction for Goldust. And I seen the couple of segments that they've done last couple of weeks with R-Truth. R-Truth, 50-year-old guy. He looks like he's 20. It's obvious that they're trying to recreate the Goldust Booker T kind of storyline tag team. I just don't see it working. It's so brutal. Goldust gets no reaction, unfortunately, at this point, because they're not really familiar with Goldust. And speaking of which, all of a sudden, he has Tourette's again. How did he loses his Tourette's, and now all of a sudden he has Tourette's again? I mean, I just thought that was funny. What else here? As far as Raw, something that I do want to mention is AJ Styles. Listen, can we please stop saying that someone is over? AJ Styles spattering of reaction. Being over is not a chant that lasts about 10 seconds and dies. Please, that's not being over. That's fans being polite. Found it kind of funny that Jericho, when he was on commentary there, pretty much was painting out Styles to be like a young rookie. Styles is 38 years old, going on 39. Wow, come on. Though he did kind of backtrack too, and Jericho saying that Styles was, with over in Japan, kind of took a shot, obviously in storyline saying that though he was in Japan, what you do in Japan really doesn't matter once you get here. AJ Lee, Paige. Who did Paige piss off in the back, huh? Losing to Summer Rae. Wow. Make me scratch my head a little bit. Summer Rae, who hasn't been wrestling, much less on TV, in a very long time. Jeez. Cameron. Props to Cameron for finally, when she was, when they were part of Team Bad there, heels, and she never done anything heelish. Finally, in the last 2 weeks, she figured out how to be a heel. Those shots that she did on Sasha Banks, boy, did they look brutal. Sasha Banks, I think the crowd, they want Sasha Banks. I think they're trying to mold, the WWE's trying to mold Sasha Banks into the next AJ Lee. But I just don't know. I don't think the crowd really knows how to react to Sasha Banks at this point. Is she a face? Is she a heel? Me personally, I just don't see it working out for Sasha Banks as a face. I think she's better off being a heel. We also have Charlotte Flair. Once upon a time, Charlotte Flair was a wrestler focused on wrestling. The short hair, now she has the extensions. Worried about her makeup. Cuts a promo on Brie Bella, who's apparently on the way out. But just a weird promo. What exactly is Flair doing for Charlotte? Besides making goofy faces in the back, please. In the background, please let me know. I personally, at this point, am just ready for the belt to come off of Charlotte. Even one might argue, even I'd rather see Nikki Bella being champion at this point. What else? Speaking of being realistic and let's being honest, I always hear that Roman Reigns is being booed out of the building. I see a lot of fist bumps. I didn't hear no booing, and I watch Raw week in and week out. Definitely no booing this week. Just because a person gets booed in one particular section over there, one particular town, territory, does not mean that people hate him. In the same regards too, just want to touch back on Goldust. It's brutal to me, honestly. And the reason why I bring that up is that he's getting no reaction, just like this whole Stardust thing. I mean, I seen some of that press conference that he did with the Green Arrow guy. It looks like it's going towards a match at WrestleMania. Just brutal. Stardust. It's basically, this character is it's not perceived well, in my opinion. It almost reminds me of like the Riddler. I just don't see, gimmick type of these gimmick type of wrestlers. What I mean by gimmick, like the Ascension, Goldust, Stardust, Powers of Pain, all these gimmick type of things, especially in this day and age, I don't think they don't get over. It's a different time. It's a different place. I mean, listen, and I know certain things in wrestling I would love to see the way they were. But as far as these type of gimmicks, like the Ascension type of gimmicks, the gimmicks I'm talking about, gimmicks, they're not for this day and age. Speaking of which, last thing I want to touch on here, as far as it kind of was odd as to when the Dudleys, who are now a heel, attacked Roman Reigns. I didn't get the connection. I don't see where they're going with this. Are they trying to break up the Dudley Boyz and singles competition with Bully Ray? Is that connection because they were ECW and Paul Heyman guys? I don't know. I'm kind of was a little bit baffled by that interaction, that attack on Roman Reigns. Was it just to show them, listen, that they're here, they should be taken seriously? Maybe that's what it was. The other thing, on Mark Henry, mid-40s now, it looks like he was injured with the match against New Day. I know some of these guys, they serve a purpose. They put young talent over. Some of them still get a reaction. Listen, Big Show, face heel, blah, 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 blah. He still gets a reaction. People are either booing him, or 9 times out of 10, or cheering him. But more often than not, booing him. Still gets some type of reaction. So I guess, yeah, maybe they serve a purpose. But at the end of the day, with these guys that have been around the block for so long, your body breaks down after a certain point. I think, guys like Mark Henry, Kane, Big Show would be A-okay if they retired as far as financially. You really have nothing to worry about. I just don't understand why they continue to put their body on the line at that old of an age. In any other noble sport, mid-40s, you'd be long retired. Heck, I'm going on 35, and I'd probably be retired in 9 out of 10 sports already. I just don't get it. Just some of my thoughts from Raw. It was a rather show. Show, to put it nicely. I hope all is well. Look forward to speaking very, very soon.